Hi everybody, and thank you for joining us at the Microsoft Power BI UK user group. I'm your host, Tom Gordon. We're back for our weekly dose of Microsoft Power BI learning to come together as a community and learn and thrive on the Power Platform, and particularly Power BI together. Now, it's nice to see everybody joining us here with us today. There's a few people that joined early as well, which is great. We're very eager for today's session. If you could just please let us know where you're joining us from in the chat. You can also let us know via the Q&A how your day's been and what you're particularly looking to get from today's session. So as I'm sure the majority of you already know, in today's session, we're going to be learning how to get started with Power BI goals with Microsoft MVP Dhruvin Shah. Now, I'll just give a brief introduction and background about Dhruvin, but please, as always, let's make sure this is an interactive session, so please do feel free to ask questions throughout. So Dhruvin Shah, as I mentioned, is a Microsoft MVP. He's also a Microsoft certified trainer, YouTuber and blogger, and has a large amount of experience across the Power Platform. Currently, Dhruvin is a lead developer and working with projects within the Power Platform. Dhruvin has started his career as a .NET developer before moving on to SharePoint, Microsoft 365, and of course, into his home now, which is on the Power Platform. So without any further ado, I'd like to hand you over to Dhruvin for his session.
Hi, Leon. Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. So, hi everyone. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you join me. First of all, thank you so much for attending my session. Myself, Dhruvin Shah, and today I'm going to talk about mostly Power BI goals. So, without taking more onto my introduction part, Leon already covered a couple of things. So, let me just share this link. Like this is linktree/Dhruvin.Shah. This is a simple URL from where you can follow me on all my social media handles. So basically, I'm very active on my YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn pages, and all the social media handles. Basically, I'm publishing the videos related Power Platform, and so far I published around 670 plus tech videos on my YouTube channel and 130 plus articles on C Sharp Corner. So you can connect me on all my social media handles, and I will share the link at the end as well. So without further delay, let me just talk about what is the overall session agenda that we are going to cover in next 1 hour. So I'm just turning off my camera at this moment just to save bandwidth, and let's get started. So let me just talk about what we are going to cover throughout this entire session. So first of all, I'm going to talk about what is Power BI goals and talk about the overall course outline that I'm going to cover in next 50 minutes. Then we will talk about the very first concept of Power BI goals, which is scorecard. So we will talk like how we can create our first scorecard and how we can create goals. So in Power BI goals, if we talk about, there are two types of goal we can create. One is manual goal and second is connected goals. So we will talk about both the things in detail. After that, the very important topic for goal is goal level permission. So basically we will talk about that thing, and after that we will connect our Power BI goals with Power Automate, which is the one of the most important feature. And at last we will talk about the scorecard visualization that is available into Power BI desktop at this moment. So this is the complete package from start to end. So if you follow from start to end, you will get to know everything about Power BI goals. So this is the basic to intermediate level of session, I can say. It's not like a very complex session to understand. So just stay tuned with me till the end and you will get to know everything about it. Couple of things in this session will be maybe fast forwarded just to save the time purpose, but definitely this entire topic step by step series I will going to launch soon on my YouTube channel. So just follow me over there and you will get to notify about all of those session individual topics in detail. So first of all, let me talk about what is Power BI goals. What do we mean by goals? So let's try to understand that in a very easy manner. So I'm not just going to here with a very typical textbook definition. So let me just simplify that in a very easy manner. So let's say for an example, I'm running my YouTube channel and currently I am having 19,000 subscriber on my channel. Now my goal for the next month is to reach up to 20,000, and my long term goal for this year is to achieve 50,000 subscribers. So over here, this subscriber is something which is considered as a goal. So right now, goal can be anything. It can be short term goal, medium term goal, or a long term goal. So here the short term goal is to achieve 19k subscriber, and long term goal is to achieve 50k subscriber. The goal is something which is helpful to us to achieve our outcomes. Now, what do we mean by outcomes? Let me try to explain you that thing in an easy manner. Let's say for an example, you are working in an organization and you are working on couple of codes. So let's say you worked on that code for the 10 days, but after 10 days you realize that that code is not useful even 2 to 3 people. So that is something you didn't achieve your output. And here the main difference between output and outcome is that it is not same. Like let's say, even if you worked on 5 days on a specific code and it is helpful to 100 people, means the outcome for that particular task is more than the output that you have placed into that particular task. So the goal is a data driven, collaborative, and adaptive way to measure the key business matrices and goals. And every goal that we are achieving in anything, that should be celebrated. So goal is, hope you get some clarity about what do we mean by goal. So now let me just move towards the official Microsoft documentation definition here, that goal in Power BI is something which allows the customer to curate their matrices and track them against key business objective in a single pane. And this feature is enhancing the data culture by promoting accountability, alignment, and visibility for teams and initiative within the organizations. Now, let me try to explain you this Power BI goals with the help of more example. My slides are over here, and now we will directly move towards the practical things to understand the goal in a better manner. So now, before we get started, we need to consider one prerequisite about licensing. The one thing about licensing is that goal is pro only feature, means you need at least Power BI Pro license in order to start with Power BI goals. So here in the table, this is the official Microsoft table or documentation table which I took here. So basically, if you want to author the scorecard goal and perform the different check-ins, minimum you need Power BI Pro license. If you want to view scorecard and goals, there are two possibilities. Either you can have premium Power BI premium capacity and with the free user, or you should have Power BI Pro license in order to view scorecard and goals. And viewing the scorecard sample is something which is the free. Now what do we mean by sample? Let me explain you directly with the practical things. So over here I just move towards my browser window, and this is the official this is the Power BI service account. So in order to start with goals, basically we have goal section available over here. So we simply need to click on here, and over here you will be able to see home screen of the goal. Basically, it is showing all the available goals that you have already created into your different workspaces over here. So let me show you the different type of workspaces goals, and which are the out of the box goals which are available over here. So as we talked earlier, like Power BI goal also provide couple of templates. So let's say for an example, if I'm going here, at this moment you can see this marketing sample, education sample, then HR sample, technology sample. So these are the different samples which are provided by Power BI service. So let's say for an example, if I'm clicking on any of the sales sample, we can see here different type of goals are added here. So let's say over here, the first goal is to achieve the monthly revenue of $5 lakh. And over here, you can see it is on track at this moment, and its due date is December 31, 2023. And whatever the overall progress is, it is being visible here. Similar way, the goal should have the different sub goals as well. So sub goal hierarchies are looking like this. So these are the different template which are provided by Microsoft, which you can edit according to your requirement, or it is just for the understanding purpose that how the overall goals are looking like. And at the top there are different cards like how many goals are on overdue, how many are on behind, how many are at risk, all we can filter over here. So these are the different samples. Now let's go to the main part, that how can I get started with the goals. I don't know anything like how to create goals, how to start with. So let me try to explain you that thing in a very easy manner. The very first step that we need to do here is we need to create one workspace. So over here, for time saving, I already created one workspace, Power BI UK user group. You can see I haven't created anything else over here into this workspace at this moment. To get started with the goals, the very first step is that we need to add scorecard in the workspace. Now, to add the scorecard, what we need to do, let me show you. Before moving forward, let me tell you one more important thing. This is the Power BI Pro workspace I have created. You can also go with Power BI Premium workspace or Premium per user workspace. It's totally depend on whatever the licensing you have in place, but minimum pro license is required to get started with goals. Now let me create my first goal with the scorecard. So for that, simply you need to click on new, and over here you have an option called scorecard, and you can see the clear description, that is track related goals together. So let me just click on that, and that will open this left navigation for you. Now ov- over here, basically we need to provide the scorecard name, description, and if any sensitivity label which is available over here. So let's say I just wanted to provide my scorecard name as UK YT Analytics 2023. So I just provided my scorecard name is this. You can provide any type of scorecard name over here. Also, one more important thing I wanted to mention here, like during this session, whatever demo that I'm showing to you, based on that, at the end we will play one quiz. So just be focused on the session, and at the end, one lucky winner will get a certificate of appreciation as well from my end. So this is one note that I want to convey to all of you. So let's say this is the scorecard, and now I haven't built any sensitivity label. So let me just make it simple and click on create. So that will create one scorecard. So you can see the scorecard has been created. Now, once scorecard is created, we can add different goals inside the scorecard. So to add the goal, we have an option here to add new goal. So let's add that. Now over here as well, it is providing the step-by-step instruction to get started with the goals. So let me get started here. Let me just create my first goal. So my first goal is to achieve a 50k subscriber to 2023. So let me just create a goal, achieve 50k subscriber in 2023, and this goal is something which is assigned to me, and currently I have 19,000 subscribers. So I'm just typing 19,000 here, and what is my target? My target is 50,000, so we need to provide our target. And now status is something which is I'm behind at this moment, so I'm just setting that. Start date is this one, and let me just set due date as December 31st. So till December 31st I wanted to achieve this goal. So let me just save that, and the goal is being saved over here. Now the question arises, like this is the main goal. Now I want to divide this goal into multiple part. Like what would be my short term goal? What would be my medium term goal? I want to define that. For that, what can I do is if I want to add one more goal under this particular main goal, then I need to select this goal. After that, I need to click on add sub goal, and that will add one sub goal under this main root goal. Over here, we need to provide the name of our sub goal. So let's say for an example, over here, my sub goal is like to achieve 20K in February. So I'm just creating this goal. And at this moment, I am on 19,000 and my target is 20,000. So I am on track at this moment. And basically the due date would be 28th of February, right? So this is how I have added one sub goal. Now, also under this sub goal, you wanted to add one more hierarchy. You can add that. Simply need to click on add sub goal and you can see one level of hierarchy is added under this sub goal as well. Let's make it simple and let's make it clear. So this is the basic step and process to create the goal in Power BI. Now, the question arises in your mind that Dhruvin, you have added everything statically. Like let's say whenever we are adding the goal, this current target, everything you added statically. Now, what if I want to connect that value dynamically? So don't worry, we have an option here to connect to the data that will connect our report with our Power BI goals. Let me show you that thing in a very quick manner. But before that, let me show you a couple of interesting thing about goals. So let's say for an example, whenever you click on your goal, basically it will have different options: history, status rule, and setting. So four tabs are available here. So under detail, as an end user, you can add different check-in. So this is the manual goal. So let's say I want to add one check-in for 11th of February. And let's say my subscriber are increased to 19,500. So I'm just saving that and adding the note. And you can see that it is showing this progress like this. So I'm increasingly my subscribers. Same way, I'm doing one more check-in for Saturday. And let's say on that day, my subscribers are like, let's say 20,000. And I am just wanted to save this. So you can see the graph is always on the straight line like this. Now, let's say for an example, I wanted to check the different historical point. I can check the historical point over here. So let's say I have added three data points for three different dates. So I'm able to see the overall progress as well as what is the status of my goal as well as current value for my goal. So I can see all of this information over here. So history will simply show the history of your data. Now, one more interesting thing, like let's say over here, I have created basically three entry for three different date. Now let's say if you add the on the same day you are adding multiple entries, still it is capturing at a single row. So let's say 19K is something which I have added here on this date. This is 10th February. Now on 10th February, if I add another entry like 19,100, so even at that time, this current value will be replaced with 19,100, but it will not add that as a separate row. So remember about that thing. So every day one row is captured. Now let's move towards the third tab, which is status rule. Now the question is like, let's say at this moment we are changing the status manually, but we wanted to define some rule. Like let's say at this time we can define the rule by three types: by value, by date, and by value change. Value change means these are the percentage thing, right? And value means the numeric value that we have assigned into our goal. So let's say I just wanted to achieve a condition that if the value is greater than, like the target is 50,000. So if it is greater than 35,000, then what I want to do here is I want to set my target. If value is greater than 35,000, then the status should be changed as on track. Then I want to add one more condition, like if the value is greater than 25,000, then it is at risk. Otherwise, it is not started or it's behind. I am just creating this normal rule and let me just save that. So what happened here is now whenever I'm adding the entry which is 35,000 greater than 35,000, then it will show that goal as on track. So this is automatically change the value. Also, sometimes we have a requirement where we want to define the status value according to the date. So if is date is on and after to the specific date, then what should be the status of goal? You can also configure that thing. And same way, if I'm selecting value change, so value change is greater than or equal to percentage of change compared to last value. So based on the last value, if it is greater than 5% or 10%, then the status should be this. You can add the condition like this as well. So let me not just do all of those things, but yeah, rule can be defined by three ways: value, date, and value change. Hope so far you are good with me. And now at last we have an option called setting. So basically it is setting the tracking cycle for your goal. So sometime what happen here is, let's say it is something which is not depending on the data refresh or your report. Let me explain you in the very easy manner. So right now this is the manual goal we have created. So we are doing the manual check-in every time. But let's say you are connecting your goal with your data source, means your Power BI report. Then it will automatically track one data point every day as a part of history. And that is something can be set by here. So from here, you need to set the frequency that you would want to daily check the tracking cycle, or you want to check it by weekly, monthly, whatever your requirement is, you can set that. I'm just setting that daily at this moment, but according to your scenario, you can change it. So this is how the basic tabs for the goals. So for any goal, you can see all of these four options. Now, let me just taste that particular rule. So let's say for an example, I just wanted to do one more check-in here. Like let me just add the value over here as 40,000 and let me just click on save. So let's see what will be happen over here. So let me just hit refresh and let me just go to the status rule. So it should show me on track over here. So let me just hit refresh one more time on my screen. Over here it is showing me 40K, but over here it is still showing me behind because the rule is not applied properly. So let's see, just a moment. Sometime it is taking the time, but yeah, let's just check this once again. So let me edit my goal. Let me go to the status rule again. Let me just do only by value and let me see over here. Let me define this thing 35,000, 25,000. And yeah, so basically from here I selected percentage of target, so it was not showing me, but now I purely provided the value, so it is showing me the status. So you can see the status rule has been successfully applied here. Now let's talk about how we can connect the basically report goals. So we will talk about the connected goals. This is the second type of goal that we are going to cover here. So let's say, let me first of all show you one of my report. So this is one Power BI report that I have created. Basically, it is created with the Excel online. So it is a very straightforward data set like product, sales and date. So date wise sales is being represented over here into this spreadsheet, and the same data source is connected with the Power BI. And I created this simple to graph where I'm showing sales by product and sales by month, day and product. So these are the two different graph I created into the report. And now I'm going to publish this report simply to my one of the workspace, which I've already done. So let's just focus on connected goals, that how we can connect our Power BI goals with the report or data set. So let me just create one more goal over here, which is like sales analytics goal. So let me create sales analytics goal. And now over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the data. So we simply need to click on connect, and over here you are able to see all the report. So let's say over here I have sales goal. So this is one of the this is the same report which I have published into another workspace. I'm just clicking on next, and basically it will show me this all the visualization that are available to the report. Now let's say I just wanted to set the goal for my product B. So at this moment you can see when I hover over on it, you can see the value is 850, means total sales for product B is something which is 850. Now I'm clicking on that. So what happened here is you can see the data selection point, and here product B is selected and measure is sales and current value is 850, means the current value for that goal is set as 850 over here. So let's just click on connect, and you can see the value is showing like this 850. So sales analytics goal for product B, that is something which we have defined here, right? Now over here in the target as well, like let's say in your report you have the target measure, then you can connect it over here, or you can set it manually as well. So let's say in my case, I do not have any measure which is showing the overall target value. So simply what I'm doing here is I'm setting my target as 1000 sales for product B, and I'm just making its status as like at risk at this moment, and I'm just setting the due date as 28th of February for this month. So this is my goal for product B sales, right? And this is the value which I directly pull in from my report. Now let me just click on save, and our connected goal is created successfully. Now let me talk about interesting thing over here. So over here you can see whenever I clicked on that, basically I am able to see the same 4 tab. But now when I'm trying to do check-in, what happened here is this value is non-editable because this is connected to my report. Now when this value will be changed, let me explain you. So let's say for an example, for this scenario in a live manner to replicate is difficult. So let me just give you an overview and show it with already created things. So let's say in future in this Excel online, I would be having some more data like this. I'm adding some more records, and let me just change the date over here as 15th of Feb, and let me just change some values. All right, so I saved my Excel spreadsheet, and now what happened here is like let's say currently it's 10th of February, right? Now let's say tomorrow on 11th February, whenever my schedule refresh in the report has been done, and after that whenever this goal is something which is tried to fetch the record from the Power BI report, at that time what happened here is new check-in will be updated automatically, and that is the setting which I tried to explain you, that is the frequency at which interval you wanted to set the track cycle for your goal. So if you set daily, so what happen here is on daily basis it will check the report and it will tell you like what is the value that is updated in the report, and according to that it will show you the latest insight over here. And at this moment, one more interesting thing, like there is also an option called force refresh, means it will not wait for this tracking cycle, it will forcefully refresh your goal from your Power BI report. So now let me not do it in live manner right now, because it will take some time, it will not always reflected at a same manner. So let me show you in one of the workspace I already created this, and how that tracking will be captured. Let me try to explain you. So over here, let me just move towards my workspace goals. So this is one of my workspace where I have created one goal called sales goals. So let me just open up that goal. Sales analytics, and over here this is the product B sales. So this is the same report, and over here basically I set up this a few days ago, so I can show you like how that goal capturing will be done. So over here during the new check-in time we are not able to change the value. So what happen here is on a daily basis, it is basically capturing the value from the report. So on the first day, basically in my record, the value was 711, and on the 9th of Feb it was 794. So it has recorded that point and captured that as a history, and you can see the different values are captured over here like this. And just before this session, refresh is being performed, and one more data point for today is also being captured here as 850. Now what happened here is tomorrow when the report is refreshed, and after that this goal is something which will pull the latest value from that particular data set and mark that as a history point over here. And rest of the functionality are same as it is, like you can same way you can create different kind of status rule, you can track the history, and you can change the setting value. So these are the same for connected as well as manual goal. Now let me talk about one more interesting thing here. Let me just show you read mode over here. So if the user has viewer permission, they are not able to check in. And another main difference in between connected goals as well as manual goal is, like let's say this is something which is connected goal and this is the manual goal. So basically over here you will be able to see this report icon. So what do we mean by that is whenever we click on that, basically it will open up the Power BI report and it will highlight that section for the specific goal. So this is how we can redirect to that report and check the overall value for that particular goal. So this is how the connected goal is associated with your Power BI report. Now we talked about this thing in detail. Now let's move towards the most important part, which is permission management with Power BI goals. So let me try to explain you the permission level over here. So let me, I just move towards my Power BI UK user group workspace. And now let me show you first of all the access at the workspace level. So you can see here on the workspace, I'm able to see only my name at this moment. So I have admin privileges. So I'm able to edit everything over here. Now, let me try to explain you how any other user can collaborate with the scorecard and goals. So let's say for an example, whenever I'm opening any scorecard, you can able to see the edit icon on the top. So if you wanted to provide edit permission to your scorecard, then you need to provide user as a minimum member permission at the workspace level. So let's say for an example, I am providing one of my another user which is Shriraj. So let me just add another user and let me add as a member. So before I add him, let me just do one more thing here. Let me just uh, open his account here. So let me just quickly log in. All right. So over here, I just opened Sriraj's account as well on my screen. Now let's do one thing. First of all, let me add him as a viewer. So only he has a view access. So let me add him. And now let me just refresh his account. So this is Sriraj's account. Let me refresh his account. Let me just go to the workspace, which is Power BI UK user group. And let me just open the scorecard. So you can see Sriraj is able to view the goal. He can able to click on that, but he could not able to check in and he cannot be able to edit the goal because we have provided the viewer permission. Now, in order to provide minimum edit permission, you need to provide at least member permission to the user. So if I convert Sriraj as a member, then what happen here is he will be able to edit that particular scorecard. So now let me just hit refresh. Hopefully it reflect quickly, and yes, here we are. You can see now with Sriraj's account, now we are able to see edit icon over here. So Sriraj can edit the goal as well as, let's say, whenever he click on anything, he will be able to do the check-in as well. So this is how the workspace level permission is working if you wanted to provide the edit permission to the workspace means scorecard level. Now another interesting thing is goal level security, which is one of the most interesting concept over here. So let's say, let me just talk about that thing in detail over here. So this is one way if you want to provide the overall edit permission of your scorecard. But now I just wanted to remove the Sriraj over here and I'm not going to provide any other user permission over here. Now I'm going to talk about another way of sharing this goal with the other user. So let me show it to you. So over here, let's say this is my account and now I'm going here and I'm going to click on this setting here. So over here we have an option called permission, and from permission you can see these are the different roles defined, and same way we can create our own new role over here that is considered as a goal level security in Power BI. Now to understand the goal level security, let me talk about one example first of. So let's say this is my YouTube analytics and this is my sales analytics. Now I wanted to create a functionality that only salespeople can see the sales record and other people like HR or let's say admin people can only be able to see the YouTube analytics data. So at that time, we need to define the goal level permission. It will help us over there. So let's say I'm going here, going to the permission section and I'm clicking on add role. And now in add role, I'm defining the role for salespeople, sales goal. And I'm just adding some members. So let's say Shriraj is a member. Let's say Dhruvin is member and Shriraj is member for this sales goal. So I just added them. Now, what type of permission we want to provide them? So let's say over here with this particular stuff, I only want to provide this sales analytics permission and I want to provide the update permission. And the last option is set for all, means it will inherit the permission at the sub goal. So let's say at this moment I have this top goal and under that I have this sub goal. Now, whenever you create any other sub goal Under your main goal, if you want to inherit this permission, you simply need to select set for all. So what happen here is all the sub goals will inherit the permission of the parent role. So I'm just deselecting it right now. I'm just keeping this two permission at this moment. And let me just click on save. So we have two members over here and I just provided this view permission and update permission to Sriraj's account as well as my account. And now one more thing, like at this moment, this default role is set. So what happen here is default is something that allows you to share without having manual assign permission for each member. Unassigned user will set this default automatically. So now let me just set my sales goal as default and let me just remove this out of the box view all. So all the people cannot view all the goals. So let me simply remove that and over here as well. Let me just remove this another out of the box. Let me just keep it as it is at this moment. Now this sales goal is set as default. Now we saved our goal. Now let's share this scorecard with the people. So let me click on cancel and now I'm showing you the another way of sharing. So you can directly share it from here. You can provide the copy link option or it is similar like the Power BI report sharing and I'm just providing Sriraj as access over here. So let me just provide him an access and let me just click on send. So let's see. Let's open the same goal with Sriraj's account. Let me just hit refresh here and let's see now how many things can be viewable by Sriraj. So I just copied the link and meantime he will receive the email notification as well. So I'm just, yeah, he received the email notification and same way the link will be received into the email itself. And let's see. Bear with me. Let it to be refresh. Meantime, till this loaded, let me talk to the next point and meantime we will check this permission thing as well that Sriraj will be able to see only one goal point. So let me just go to the next part. Meantime, it refresh and we will see. So the next part is like we have created our goals, but now the requirement is something where we want to achieve couple of automation. Like whenever the status change, I want to send the automated email to my customers, or let's say whenever the value is being changed, I want to send an email notification. That kind of requirement I can easily achieve with the help of Power Automate integration with Power BI goals. Now let's see how. So for that, I already created a couple of things for a fast forward process, but let me just show you the overall idea how the Power Automate integration is working over here. So for that, you simply need to open flow.microsoft.com. So I'm just opening my flow here. And now you simply need to click on my flow. And from here, you simply need to click on automated goal. So I'm just clicking on automated cloud flow. So let's provide the cloud flow name. So let's just keep at this moment. We will provide the name later. And the first thing is that we need to search for the Power BI connector. So let me click on that and you can see here when you select Power BI as a trigger, it is providing different options to us. Like whenever the Power BI goal is changed, means any value from the goal is being changed, what you want to achieve. Whenever your current value is changed, what you want to achieve. When someone is add or edit the goal, what you want to achieve. Then when someone assign a new owner to the goal, what you want to do, and when the status of goal is changed, what you want to do. So these are the different trigger items for the goals are provided. So any change that has happened to the goal, it will be trigger my flow. So let's say at this moment for simplicity, I'm just setting when the status of a goal is changed. So after that, you need to provide the workspace name. So let's say I'm just providing our workspace, which is Power BI UK user group that we created. Then I need to select the scorecard. So this is the scorecard we have created. And after that, we have created different goal. So on which goal you want to trigger this flow? So let's say I want to trigger a flow on the first goal, which is achieve 50K subscriber. So I'm selecting this thing, and at last we have the polling interval. Now what do we mean by polling interval? So let's say you frequently change your goal value, but you just wanted to set like in last 5 minutes, if the value is not changed, only at that time this flow should trigger. So over here the minimum value is 5 minutes. So we need to provide 300 seconds over here. So within 5 minutes, if value is not being changed, only at that time this trigger will be called. So let's just set it minimum. And after that, what I want to do here is I want to send an email notification. So let me just provide send an email action, and you can just provide any of your email address. So I'm just providing my own email address over here, and you can provide subject over here. Goal status has been changed. And after that, you can create your body content, like what was the old value and what was the new value. You will get it from here. So when you click on this particular icon, you will see like what was the old status and what was the new status. So that is something which you can simply add and achieve the stuff. Now, uh, I'm not going to save this flow because I created one of the better flow with proper description and all. So I will show it to you later. But before that, let me talk about another interesting thing about this goal and power automate feature, which are the different actions. So we talked about the trigger. Trigger is something on which basis your flow is being triggered. But let's say if you wanted to achieve the stuff like after your goal trigger is being created, you wanted to achieve couple of goal action, then how you can do that? So for that as well, you simply need to add the action and search for Power BI, and over here you can find the different action. So let's say once your trigger has been done, you wanted to create a goal, or you want to create a new check-in, or you want to create a scorecard, or let's say you wanted to get a goal value, or you wanted to get a multiple goal values. Many actions are provided over here. So sometimes my requirements are like, let's say whenever my goal status is being changed, I wanted to create one more goal under the same scorecard, or let's say I want to create a new scorecard. So at that time I can use this action and can perform the different things. This is a huge concept. Many actions are provided. Each action are important, and you can achieve lots of things with your Power BI goals. But to cover, I need to take a totally separate session for this Power Automate integration with goals. But yeah, in my step-by-step series, I will try to cover most of the action, and in upcoming videos as well, I will try to focus on this flow action, so you will get to know more idea. Now, let's just not simply save this flow, and let me show you the already created flow over here. So over here, I just created one flow, that is Power BI goals update. And if I show you this particular flow, basically I captured into my YouTube analytics goal. And according to that, I'm just sending one email notification over here. So whenever we run this particular flow, whenever the status value is being changed, basically we are sending the email notification to the end user as well. And same way, I just added like goal value is changed from this value to this value. This is the better flow I created over here. Now, let me just run this thing so you will get a better idea. Let me just change the status over here and let's see how it goes. So over here as well, this will take some time, so we need to wait. And if not, I will move to the next part, but definitely this flow will be triggered successfully. So over here, let me just move towards my YT analytics goal, and this is the goal on which I place my trigger. So let me just go here, or let me just edit this stuff, and let me click on edit, and let me just change the status as completed to at risk, and let's click on save, and let's see if my flow is being triggered or not. So let's go here, and you can check basically the flow run from here. So let's wait for 1 minute max, and meantime let me see, still it's not loaded here. All right, and till then,
Ruben, what we
Ruben,
can
what we
do,
can do,
whilst we're just
whilst we're
waiting
just
for that to load, if you want, we can take a couple of the questions now.
sure.
Okay, no problem at all. So the first question that we have coming in from Debbie, she asks, in the status rules, is it possible to provide a target value from the data itself rather than manually adding it?
Okay, good question. So let me just quickly show that thing. So um, let me just click on that and click on the status value. And over here, so at this moment we don't have that capability. We only need to add the manual value over here. We cannot dynamically add that value over here under the rule for the percentage of target.
Excellent, thank you. And the next question we have is an anonymous question, and they ask, does the goal refresh interval still override a report connecting via direct query?
Okay, good question. So to answer this question, I'm unaware because I haven't tested this functionality with direct query. So no idea on that part. Right now I tested only for import mode itself. So thanks for the question. I'll check and update it through my blogs and everything. But thanks a lot for this good question.
Excellent, thank you. And then the final question we have, Drupin, another anonymous question, and they ask, as a Power BI admin, when looking at goals created for various business departments, can they drill down in the workspace to see where the scorecard was created?
Okay. So if I understood the question correctly, as an admin, uh, I wanted to know like when the scorecard is created, right? Correctly on if my understanding is correct.
I think as an admin, they want to have an overall view of all of the goals across all of the business departments, and then be able to drill directly to that workspace where the scorecard was created, if that's possible.
Mm-hmm. Uh, okay. So I think over here, if you go to the goal section over here, basically as an admin, you are able to see all the goals you created and you have an access upon. But like let's say if I click on any specific goal from here, and after that, like department wise, if I wanted to check as admin I can able to see everything together. For me, to identify that as a differentiated, like similar way like in row level security, if we are testing with the different role, that is something which is not available at this moment in this goal level security. I'm able to see everything, but I can't determine that this is something for sales department, this is something for product department. If if you wanted to check, the only way is you simply need to click on this goal setting, and you can check that manually by seeing the permission section, and whatever the roles that you have defined, according to that you can simply check. So as an admin, the only way to check which goal is belong to which department is something like just go to the role setting and just check the setting from here. That's it. Otherwise, there is no direct way to check this at this moment.
Excellent. Thank you, Dhruvin. That's all the questions we have at the moment.
All right. Thank you so much, Leon. Now let me just check if my flow ran here or not, because sometimes it's taking time, or maybe it triggered any other flow. Let me just quickly check. So it's not being triggered so far. So sometime it is taking time in order to trigger this particular flow. So just bear with me, but let me just show you the end outcome, how it will look like. So once your flow is basically trigger, you can check the flow status, like you were able to see like what was the old value and what is the new value, and you can simply send the email like this. Now let me try one more thing, if I can show you this thing in a live manner. Let me just taste it manually from here, or maybe let me just use any specific, if it's executed, I can uh, show you like how it will look like, because sometimes that flow is something which is taking some time, 3 to 5 minutes, sometime 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the flow license that you have and depending on the number of runs that you already executed in your tenant. It is taking some time in order to execute this particular flow run. So let's not wait too much here. Let me just keep this screen as it is, and meantime let me just show you the last topic of this session, which is scorecard visual. So Scorecard Visual is something which is available into Power BI desktop at this moment, and for that you simply need to activate your preview feature, and once you activate that, basically the scorecard visual will be available for you. Now, if you wanted to add the scorecard, first of all, the necessary step is you need to sign in with your Power BI service, and after that you simply need to add this stuff over here. And over here, the same service type of experience is provided. Like you can simply create a new Power BI scorecard over here, or maybe you can connect your existing scorecard as well. So I'm just going to connect my existing scorecard, and over here you are able to see all the created scorecard by you. And this is the one which we have created in this session. So I'm just connecting that, and this scorecard will be looking like this into Power BI service. So this scorecard is something, once you sign into your Power BI desktop, only at that time this visual will be populated. Otherwise, it will not show any value to you. And another interesting thing is like same like other visual, you can format the different stuff from here. So these are the different formatting properties. If you wanted to change font, if you wanted to change this header, if you wanted to hide and show these cards, you can simply do it over here. Same way, if you just wanted to change the column header color and goal value, you can simply change it from here, right? So these are the different things about the scorecard visual that you can leverage with Power BI desktop. So with this, I think I covered almost everything. We started with manual goal, then we covered the connected goals. We talked about the different rules. We created one Power Automate flow. However, it's still not executed. Sorry for that. After that, we talked about the permission stuff, goal level permission, and at last we created the scorecard visual.
But thank you very much. That was a riveting session on goals for us there. So really appreciated. We do have a couple more questions that I can just pose to you if that's okay.
Sure.
So our first question, again, is an anonymous question, and they ask, what is the use case for scorecard visuals against creating a scorecard within the Power BI service?
Okay. Uh, uh, can you please repeat one more time, Leon? So sorry.
Yeah, no problem at all. So what is the use case for using the scorecard visual within Power BI Desktop as opposed to using the scorecard within the Power BI service?
Okay, okay. Got it. So let's say for an example, sometimes we have a scenario like people are already using some report, like sales report they are building. Now let's say they are representing that report to their internal team, and they wanted to discuss about couple of goals that they need to achieve into their upcoming times and all. So at that time, that scorecard visual in the Power BI desktop will help them a lot. Like they can add the that entire scorecard in one of the report page, and with the report itself they are able to know that what would be the upcoming targets that they need to achieve and all. So with the report itself, report is being shared with many people, so those people will able to see that scorecard visual, and they can check like what is their upcoming goal that they need to achieve, and they can it will help them to work manage their work in that particular manner. So that is the main use case for scorecard visual into Power BI desktop.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Druvin. That's all the questions that we have come in for now. What I would just like to do for all of our attendees, I've just posted in the Q&A a link to an anonymous feedback form. So in an effort to continue to make the Power BI UK user group webinars riveting and targeted on topics that you would like to enjoy, please do just spend 10 seconds or so going through the feedback form. That would be really ideal if you could do that for us. But as I mentioned, Druvin, absolutely fantastic session. It's been great to have you with us today at the Microsoft Power BI UK user group. So thank you very much for going through that session for us today.
Thank you so much, Leon. Looking forward for the same, and thank you so much everyone for attending this session.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And as I mentioned as well, thank you to everybody for attending today's session for the Microsoft Power BI UK user group. This session has been brought to you in association with Onyx Data. And as always, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you've been here with us. So stay safe and see you again next week.